You know, I thought I would never have a reason to use this Scalebound footage ever again after it was canceled all the way back on January 9th, 2017. But stranger things seem to be happening as Scalebound might get a second chance at life. And I hear all you Xbox guys cheering, yeah, Scalebound's coming back, right? Don't get too excited, because according to these rumors, Scalebound's getting resurrected possibly not for the Xbox One or Xbox 2, but rather it's getting resurrected as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Oh man, that would set the internet on fire if it did happen. Well, I want to talk a little bit about this, so let's go. What's going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And if you enjoyed this video by the end, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Man, Scalebound, I honestly thought we were done talking about this game, but apparently not. We have a report from Nintendo Insider that says Scalebound is resurrected as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. And they say exclusive, which rules out an Xbox version, which would be pretty strange considering, as far as we know, Microsoft still retains the ownership of the IP. Even though you can search the Scalebound trademark on Google, it does say abandoned, but I'm not sure that fully means like Microsoft has given up the trademark for the game. But if you do go to Microsoft's own website, they do still say they own the IP, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But the fact, just the mere mention of Scalebound getting resurrected and as a Nintendo Switch game, this has definitely raised some eyebrows among Xbox fans and got Nintendo fans really excited, and PlayStation fans ready to pounce in and make fun of Xbox some more, because this is a pretty strange situation. Anyways, Nintendo Insider says that I have confidence in my sources to report that it is my understanding that Scalebound has been resurrected as a project to be released as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Given Microsoft's previous involvement, it remains unclear to me whether development has been completely rebooted from scratch, or at the least, its ambitions scaled back, seeing as how it's now destined for the nimble but less powerful portable home console. Further to this, I believe Scalebound is likely to be the game that's thought to be dead that Nintendo's reviving, that Game Informer senior editor Imran Khan had hinted on Kinda Funny Games last week. Although there's the chance he could have heard about a different project that will be revived. In the original concept for Scalebound, you play as Drew, blah 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 blah. Man, I'm trying to imagine a scenario where Scalebound gets resurrected as a Nintendo Switch exclusive and skips Xbox completely. Because let's assume Microsoft still owns the game assets and the trademark and the IP, like I think they do. Maybe they don't, but I think they do. Now, we do know that Microsoft and Nintendo have been extremely cozy. There's GDC talks about how they're going to be bringing Xbox Live to Nintendo Switch. They do crossplay with Minecraft. They seem to have a great relationship. And Nintendo has a really strong relationship with Platinum Games, the previous makers of Scalebound. They just announced a new exclusive from Platinum Games, Astral Chain, coming out in August. They also are still working on Bayonetta 3 whenever that's coming out. And there are talks that Platinum Games has a third unannounced game in development, which, if you believe these rumors, potentially could be this new Scalebound. So, what are the scenarios we're looking at here? That Microsoft and Nintendo formed some alliance and was like, okay, we'll do some collaboration where Platinum Games can make Scalebound, but a less pared down version, clearly, because from what I had heard, Scalebound could barely run on the Xbox One. That game, if you had just took it and ported it, it probably wouldn't run on the Switch. So maybe some kind of different version of Scalebound that would not only come out on Nintendo Switch, but then also potentially come out on the Xbox One as kind of the collaboration of Microsoft and Nintendo, right? That thing we've been talking about. Or maybe Platinum Games, like Alana Pierce on Twitter, she said that she had heard last year that Scalebound might be coming back. These rumors point to that. She heard that Platinum Games was trying to get ownership of the IP back from Microsoft. And maybe that's what is going on here. Maybe through negotiations, Kamiya Phil Spencer came to an agreement. Microsoft sold back the IP to them, and now they can use it, and they're going to use Scalebound as their third announced game, which would be a Nintendo Switch exclusive, and Microsoft gets a whole bunch of money. Either way, that would be pretty strange, although not unheard of, because when Microsoft cut ties with Twisted Pixel, the makers of Local Cycle and Comic Zone and like Missplosion Man, they gave them the rights back to all those IPs that they made. When Microsoft cut ties with, I think, Press Play or Press Start, the people who did Max and the Curse of the Brotherhood, and we're working on that that Dwarven game, I believe. I don't recall the name of it right now. Microsoft did give them their IPs back. So it's not unheard of for Microsoft to give the IPs back to a developer that they feel maybe they don't have use for in the future. And Scalebound might be one of those situations where Microsoft's looking at it and thinking to themselves, yeah, we don't have any use for Scalebound. We don't have any use for these assets. We don't have any use of all this technology. We spent millions of dollars pumping it in here, and here comes Nintendo and Platinum Games, and if they want to throw us some money at it, that we can recoup some of our costs, then maybe we can do it. This whole kind of thing just seems really speculative, and I know I'm speculating on it because I found the news really interesting. I mean, you're going off Game Informer's comment that kind of funny that he heard a game's being brought back that was publicly canned. Now you have a Nintendo insider saying it could be Scalebound. I'm sure plenty of people will drop their 2 cents in, not only in the comments here, but also on YouTube and elsewhere. The problem is, we just don't know enough about the situation. The things that we do know is that Microsoft owns the IP and they own the trademark. And with those facts, there's no way Nintendo and Platinum Games could do a Scalebound game without Microsoft's approval. So maybe the team up thing has some real juice to it. I don't know. But I'm also thinking of Microsoft and the PR hit that they would take if it does come out eventually that they sold the IP to Platinum Games and they eventually released it for the Switch or whatever, and the game was great. Because then you're going to not only experience the PR disaster that was the cancellation in the first place back in January 9th of 2017, but then also that game coming back to haunt you and being an amazing Switch exclusive. Would Microsoft want that for any amount of money they would receive from letting Platinum own the IP? Maybe they let Platinum own... Maybe there's scenarios where, like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. They do this with Nintendo and Platinum, and they get something back in return. I don't really know. I don't know the situations involved. I'm just kind of thinking, would Microsoft really want that bad PR? Because they're already getting bad PR. We got Crackdown 3 with bad reviews. You know, people are saying, you know, it's not worth buying for $60. It's the perfect Game Pass game, all that stuff, right? We thought we had moved past Scalebound. But if it does come back out as a Switch exclusive, people will be happy because they can play it on their Switch. But then people will turn their eyes at Microsoft and saying, you don't know what you're doing. You still don't know what you're doing. How could you let this happen? So they just would just drum up all these negative feelings about the cancellation and a lot of stuff that we thought and they thought everybody had moved past. I mean, it's been 2 years since they canceled the game, and people still talk about it now. In fact, I still think Scalebound got more popular after the cancellation than it ever was when Microsoft was showing it off at all these different conferences. I don't really think that many people cared about Scalebound. It wasn't until it was canceled that people were outraged about it. Does Microsoft really want to get a second brunt of terrible, bad PR by letting Nintendo make this game and potentially creating a masterpiece that wouldn't hit Xbox? But then, of course, if there is a collaboration and it is a Nintendo Switch game and an Xbox game, I guess that really doesn't matter. You'll probably get some bad PR, meaning that, like, oh, for Xbox to make a good game, you got to team up with Nintendo. So this whole situation is extremely weird. I want to know what's going on. I want to know who controls the IP. I want to know if it's true, but I don't think we'll find out anytime soon. Maybe people are mishearing things. You know, I'm not really sure. It's just incredibly weird to suddenly see that Scalebound's coming back, that Platinum wants it. It's like, why wouldn't Platinum just make a brand new game like they are with Astral Train, right? Why do they need Scalebound? I mean, I know Kamiya really wanted to do it, as it was, you know, his last chance to express the love that he once had for the fantasy games that he played in high school and all that stuff. And the project meant a lot to him personally, and maybe that's the reason, you know, they would want to get it back. But Platinum Games can just create new content. You don't necessarily need Scalebound. Sure, Scalebound has... people know of Scalebound. Like, you say Scalebound, people know it. You just say Astral Chain, people don't know what that is. But they can create new content. So I'm just kind of curious to see how this is all going to work out, because it's extremely interesting, and it's just a rumor. So all this stuff in this video, all the things that you read online, take it with an immense grain of salt, because who really knows? Who really knows indeed. Anyways, guys, that's the video for now. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Share this out on Twitter and Facebook with a buddy or a friend. I'd appreciate it. Hit that sub button if you're new, and hit that notification bell if you always want to be notified when I drop new content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.